I just realized that these players aren't allowed to shower. Everybody got to be smelling really ripe by now. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another episode of Squid Games. We're now on season 3, episode 3, which is called It's Not Your Fault. So that was kind of the theme of the last episode. We saw the conclusion of that horrible game, and we kind of saw Gian slip into the darkest place he's been thus far. He literally hunted down someone and he took their lives. Like, he literally took Daeho's life because he couldn't deal with his own guilt over this situation. And so we see that he tried to do something very drastic at the end of it, but he was stopped by a front man, and they want the games to continue because the VIPs are now in the building. And on the other side of things, we see that our North Korean defector, she saved that guy who's got the daughter. I can't remember his name. And it looks like she's trying to sneak him in and pass him off as one of the squares. And because that's really the only way to get him out, or possibly get him out without him getting killed. So interesting. We'll have to see where we go with this episode and how the repercussions of the last game are going to affect everyone, because there was a lot of very brutal stuff that had to go down. So let's jump in. But just before I do, if you'd like to know when I drop these episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And remember, you can catch this uncut on my Patreon if you're interested. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Oh, damn, and Grandma lost her weapon with that one. She didn't get a chance to take it back. Don't miss her. Yeah, we lost a lot of good people.
Mamma mia.
Damn, that was close.
The VIPs are in here?
Oh, we were just getting started. I heard there's more of them upstairs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now, I mean, everyone's getting their hands dirty, huh? So front man, okay. I mean, if they sent the VIPs in to hunt, then why wouldn't they just leave Gian in there?
너 내 목걸이 못 봤냐?
You're done with your drugs, buddy.
십자가 안에 그 약 든 거.
You're gonna have to wait for you go through your withdrawal now.
게임장에 뭐를 두고 왔어요?
You want to go back in there? Actually, go back in, because they're hunting. Gian is so out of it, you don't even care. Remember, you had a baby too, a daughter, which you clearly don't care about, but okay. It's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to move like you didn't just get shot in the abdomen. Nope, that's not gonna work. Straighten up. Perky! Maybe you should have found some drugs. Right? Suck it up! You have to feed her. Yeah, you need to feed her. That's you. Ain't no formula in this bee. The milk will be there. So can she leave, or can the baby leave at least? The baby ain't even asked to be here. They didn't count the baby, did they? What's with the masks? They already all looked at because the front man's there. Because I'm like, y'all already looked at each other in the arena.
But it was a completely new experience, putting on the uniform and taking part. What can I even compare it to?
Nothing, because... Okay.
Shall we raise a glass to the memory of the legendary Chairman O?
I'm good. Really okay.
직접 내려가서 확인해.
She didn't even try to hide those bodies either. That wasn't really time. Could you breathe quieter, please? Jeez!
내가 여기 시장 사람들하고 어부들한테 물어봤거든. 박승장 고향이 어딘지, 가족이 있는지 어디.
And they would know that in a place like this.
이었냐고. 어때?
그렇다고 박 선장님이 드론 기사를 죽였다고 단정할 수
Shh,
없어요.
don't say that out loud.
토백이라고 박 선장이 데리고 왔잖아. 근데 고 선장에 대해서도 아는 사람이
Stories
없어.
aren't adding up. You know, in these small fishing communities, everybody literally knows everybody. They nosy as hell.
나도 좀 더 알아볼 테니까 박 선장 계속 주시하고.
I hope this works, because he's right. Like, I'm dead ass. And these places, these types of communities, everybody knows everybody's business. Everybody. I bet you they'll tell you that he showed up just around the same time that you almost drowned.
After that riot in the dark, people will be nervous about voting against the majority.
What about the baby? Why is... Okay.
100번.
I need him to die next. And painfully. Like something where he gets dismembered. Yeah, how's that withdrawal hitting you there, pal?
125번,
Oh, you can't handle a little withdrawal? Homie's gonna be puking all over the place in an hour.
163번,
She wants it for the baby. Seriously, like, as the game master's gonna pretend this baby doesn't exist. But I mean, you know what? These people are so depraved.
이 노인네가 이렇게 부탁드렸습니다.
They don't care about old ladies here. Or babies.
제 돈도 다 선생님들 가져가세요.
These are soulless rats. I'm sorry.
이렇게 빌게요. 제발.
Wow, she's begging and you're not? No? Wow. They would step on your corpse, ma'am. They don't care. Probably eat that baby. There was an accident. Everyone slipped and shot themselves. It happens all the time.
여러분들의 민주적인 투표 결과에 따라 내일 다음
Can the baby
게임을
leave?
속행하겠습니다.
I'm dead ass. How's the baby going to participate? But honestly, she was like, let me get. I was about to say she shouldn't have joined, but she didn't know it was a death game. But still, I wouldn't have been taking any type of risk that I didn't know everything about when I was carrying a child.
Just to save some baby and a woman she just met.
I think I understand her.
Yeah, clearly you
After all,
don't know
there's
what
many
it's like.
times I've wanted to bury my son alive.
Damn. Maybe someone should do that for you.
장기 수술한 의사는
Oh, good on her.
16번은 복귀했습니다.
Not taking that mask off.
물살이 더 세지기 전에 그만 이동하자고.
How about you jump overboard?
잠깐 먹어. 엄마가 살아야 애도 살아.
How? Respectfully, ma'am, how? Oh, about her son. No, that was because of your son. Sorry, it's true. I just realized that these players aren't allowed to shower. Everybody got to be smelling really ripe by now. I just realized that's the guy from
16번 잡았어.
Moving.
그리고 11번.
He's the North Korean soldier.
11번 여기 있습니다.
What's up, bitch? Here to haunt your nightmares.
수술실. 네가 앉으신가?
Why are you asking questions you know the answers to?
내일 저랑 16번을 외곽 경비자로 배치하십시오.
16번 그 의사는?
Yes, the doctor.
우리가 조용히 사라지는 게 부대장님한테도 좋을 겁니다.
You can't say she ain't got the cojones. He's like, that's where I got shot by my own brother and fell. Think I can find my spleen here if I look closely enough. At this moment, I realized I wish I was an only child.
알겠습니다. 곧 어두워지니까 그만 배로 돌아와요. 내일 나리방대로 수색합시다. 그 섬 이제 찾을 수 있습니다.
Am I gonna kill them all now? You might swim back to an empty boat. And you know cell phone service is out here.
다 자기 탓이라고 생각하시는 거예요.
Amongst other things.
뭐가 조금만 잘못되어도 다 자기 탓을 하면서.
Is that a good people thing or is that an obsessor thing? Because sometimes it isn't in your control.
애가 너무 물러 터지고 바보 같아서
Pabu.
노름오다가 숙고 와서도 자기 탓.
He made a lot of poor decisions. Sounds a lot like you, Higgian.
하도 한심스럽고 꼴들이기
Fair.
싫어가지고 그냥 내가 막 소리를 질렀어요.
Very fair.
내배 앓고서 너를 낳은 게 후회된다. 응?
That might have been a bit much.
그러니까 제발 내
That was
눈앞에서
too much.
없어져 이놈아 이
That was too
쌍놈새끼야.
much.
그랬더니 이놈이 그날
But
밤에
human, sadly.
약을 먹었더라고요.
Damn.
이놈만 살려주시면 뭐든지 다 하겠다고. 불구덩이라도 뛰어들려면
All
뛰어들었다고.
that and you had to be the one to end him. Yeah. That's harsh. But I mean, he was about to take out a baby. Or a woman who had a baby. But it's kind of one and the same to me right now.
내가 죽였네요.
I mean, you gave him the life. You got to take it.
내가
I'm kidding. It's just something that you hear in black households all the time. I brought you into this world. I can take you out. There, you see, Gian? She does the dark too, but she's still moving forward. Maybe take a note or two.
준이랑 준이 아기
Junie the baby.
선생님이 여기 우리를 구하러 오셨다는 것 저는
Ooh.
지금도 믿어요.
Lay that guilt on. Come on, hero. That's why you came back, isn't it?
그런 사람이 아닙니다.
But you could be.
그치만 저 깐난 재미가 보험
Exactly. Like, can we at least beg for the baby?
준이랑 아기를 좀 선생님이 좀 살려주세요.
Find a purpose. Come on. Find a purpose, Gil.
저기 저 집 같은데.
Should y'all be going into that alone? This is not a normal man. He's chained for now. He's a baby pity. He probably just wants to play. Really? I guess it's better than being bit up by a dog, but...
아무래도 이상해. 앞뒤가 맞잖아.
He figured out it's not the doctor. Yeah, she couldn't live with it. That's why she wanted you to take over. I didn't even know what to say. I was about to say something rude, but let me be quiet. At least you're at peace, ma'am. Not a player.
16번이 죽었습니다. 그 의사놈이 죽었다고?
Right, so.
그럼 16번 방에서 나온 사람은 뭐야?
We'll never know. Oh, damn. Well, things just got messy. Pictures on the wall. Who is really here? Who yeah. Who is this? Whose house is this? Oh shit, it actually is his house. His brother! You don't know that. Unless he sees him.
가위바위보 하나 빼기.
My baby! My husband! Grab the other photo, though he doesn't even know to grab the photo of his brother. Are all these people who've been in the game? Hi! Let's talk about this. Yep. I hate to hurt a dog, but you're gonna have to do it. Sorry, Cujo. I know you was just doing your job. Oh, now you woke up. Welcome back. What is this creep doing? You high again? Yeah. That maternal instinct's it's a real thing, that crying. Go get yourself checked out, sir. You might have the rabies. Oh. No, you really should go to a hospital, bro. I'm not even joking. Don't mind if I do. You shot a gun, bro. I had a feeling he was bleeding through his uniform. That wound was too fresh. You brought the...
준이야. 잘못하면 아이가 다쳐.
It's true. Frontman don't seem to want him to die. Plot armor.
Did anyone bet on her for the next game?
Who in their right mind would do that?
I did.
Some sicko, yeah. Not tug of war again. Seriously? Now there's a male doll.
What on earth is that?
Hell.
전보다 행복해질 수 있을 것 같았어요.
Wasn't a crazy thought. But then you joined a death game.
현주 언니도 할머니도.
That wasn't you.
네 탓이 아니야.
It's not.
우린 선택을 한 거야.
Everyone made a choice to be here. Only innocent party in there is that baby.
스스로 선택을 한 거야.
Yes, there you go. That's what she was trying to tell you.
난 결국 좋은 아빠는 못 됐지만
Facts.
잘하는 걸 지켜본 시간이.
Wow, they're just not hurrying them along, huh?
A mother will do anything to save her child. This might turn 222 into some kind of Marvel superhero.
Are you allowed to say Marvel?
That's actually a DC superhero. But anyways.
Are you allowed to say DC?
Here they come.
Come on!
Karma is coming swift for all of you in that room, and it will be sweet. Someone just push him real quick. Oh, you gotta jump at the same time, but something tells me that those platforms probably fall away or some ish. 20 minutes? That's not very long. That's a lot. How many of y'all is there? 25? I think y'all have to go last. Rest up for the 2 seconds you can. Boop. Yeah, no, it looks great. You're fine. You gotta jump high for that ish. Oh, you gotta jump high for that. That's not like a little step. Let me see if you got some rhythm. Hey, how those knees doing there, Grandpa? How's it going there, Halabaji? Oh, you gonna get high again? How many pills? Oh, that's what I thought. There can't be that many left. Homie was popping those things like candy.
내가 도와줄게.
But what about the baby?
정해진 시간 안에 다리를 건너야 합니다.
Yeah, that's not possible.
정해진 시간 안에 다리를 건너지 못한
That's not a player. Where's the number?
아기는 참가자가 아니에요.
Period.
지금 이곳에 있는 여러분 모두.
Okay. Yeah. We? Get your ass out there and lead. Go for it. Exactly. With your loud mouth. Nobody take the fall for you this time. Although I do give you your ones for getting rid of that hag.
아기 먼저 데리고 가주세요.
Someone has to carry the baby, sir. She can't do it. She's gonna have to put all of her effort into her balance. Literally all of it. 꺼져!
혹시 이거 때문에 그래?
Nope. You just call me names. Beg. Like a dog.
민수야.
How about you go first? And if you cross, I'll give it to you.
미안해.
Look at you. They'll this for a high. Fetch.
야, 먹고 싶으면 가서 먹어.
Smart. Look at you using your brain.
족밥 새끼야?
Right back at you. How much you want them drugs? Would be hilarious if he gets there and it's empty. It's actually not a bad strategy to stay low. Because men do not have their center of gravity is high. You're gonna die to take the pill, bro? That's my petty boy! Woohoo! Sorry, but he deserved it. That's why you don't bully people, man. The rage, it builds. For drugs. Stay in school, kids. Did you name her? I don't remember she did. Maybe you should do that. I hate to say it, but
괜찮아요. 저 혼자서 할 수 있어요.
she's gotta try. There won't be time to do both.
Why is he doing this?
Because he's a human being. You got this. Oh. Gian, get down. Woo! Gian, don't make this baby, please. Don't look. Just don't look, G. I wouldn't be able to look. I'm like, God, just pray, because I couldn't watch my baby go down, so just... Because he's gonna figure it out. He can't land on his hands. Oh, Gian. Oh, Gian. Next up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. What are you cheering for? Y'all haven't gone yet. Oh, I'm glad she has that relief. Or maybe your man can take you. That's kind of his job. Yeah, like, what did you think was gonna happen? No, you're gonna have to go with your man if he's got any worth. Damn. Increasing his prize pot. Damn. And unfortunately, Junie is the easiest target in the bunch for that. Ooh, these people are sick. But I mean, are we surprised? Like, they literally did a game just before this where they were murking each other. So I don't think any of us should be surprised. All right, well, guys, that was a sadder episode. I mean, obviously the theme of this whole show is on the sad side, but I think the main things that we could focus on here, we lost, oh goodness, the name of the mother. I can't remember her name now. The mother of the mother-son duo. It's interesting because I was at first thinking that she was handling the death of her son a little too well. Like, I mean, I understand that in the situation they were in, that you don't have a ton of time to mourn, but it did seem like she was, I thought maybe she was transferring to Junie and the baby, which makes sense. There was a mother and son. She had to get, her son, unfortunately, she had to be the one to end him. And then here's this woman who just started the cycle of life with a new baby. And, I'm sure that brought up a lot of mixed emotions for the mother, because it's exactly like no parent ever thinks they're going to outlive their child. It's just not something that parents are built for, and definitely not at their own hands. right? Not at their own hands. And so it was always going to be a rough situation. But I thought that maybe she, like I said, the will for her to try to protect Junie would be enough. But I was thinking throughout the episode that, she is an older woman. And even though she's by no means helpless, she was by no means helpless, depending on the type of game it was, she knew that the chances of her being able to protect Junie and the baby and herself were very, very, very low. And unfortunately, with how these games were getting more and more geared towards player on player violence, it was, it's a situation where she started to realize it was going to be harder and harder for her to even protect herself, right? And so, that last speech she gave, Gian, was just so sad and heart-wrenching, her talking about just how unfair life is. As she said, she has this son, you do your best to raise your child. Her son grows up and it's just not working out for him. He's making poor decisions after poor decisions. And as she said, in her mind, he always took on more responsibilities for things he shouldn't have even been blaming himself for, but that's kind of the way he worked. And, in her frustration with his poor decisions after poor decisions, she lashed out and said things that were horrible, horrible, horrible things that should have never been uttered. And obviously, I don't think she meant them, but this is why it's so important for us to be so careful about what we say. And we're not perfect. Obviously she wasn't perfect and she didn't, like I said, mean it, but we see that in the end, he took it so harshly that he almost died because of it. And she said from that point, she kind of had always promised that she would do everything she could to save her son and protect him. And then this whole situation happens, right? And the situation, because he made yet another poor decision. And, I've said since last season, I know a lot of people came for me because I wasn't as empathetic to the son and his plight. And I'm not saying that I know that he loved his mom. I know that. I don't think that what he meant to, we knew he didn't want to involve her. But I said this, that no one is an island. Like your decisions, especially if you have people who love you, there's a ripple effect, right? And even Gian right now, he's thinking, I'm a bad father. My daughter, she doesn't need me, but that's not true. We saw that his daughter loved him, even with all of his flaws. That was her dad. And him being here, if she knew what he was doing right now, risking what he risked, she would be devastated. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, you got to realize that your decisions, they impact the people around you. And in the case of that son, him continuously doing things to get himself into trouble with the debtors, with the debt collectors, and now this game, it just kept negatively affecting his mom. And now, of course, like I said, being pushed to that ultimate edge of being in the game and her having to do what she had to do. But all of that to basically let Gian know, because we saw that Gian was back in his head, right? After he took out Daeho and realized that didn't change anything. He was back in his head. And so we see that she told him all these things, kind of her last confession, to be like, look, we've all been through some stuff, especially those of us in here. And we can't just give up, right? We can't just stop. And like she said, for her, I think if she genuinely thought there was a way she could have protected Junie and the baby better, she would have probably pushed through. But because, as I said, she kind of knew all the odds were against her, she just did the best thing she could think of. She tried begging. We saw that. I knew it wouldn't work because these people, if they weren't willing to leave after the first game, they weren't going to do it now. And so she went and she begged Gian, because she's like, I know the person who came here risked everything when you could have just sat with your money. You came back, you risked everything. You tried to set up this revolution. It didn't work out. But I believe that you've got the spirit of somebody who wants to try to help people. So that's what she did. She appealed to his sense of, I guess, doing what's right. And, because again, we now know it was her goodbye. It was her literal final plea. And so, we see that. I mean, I think the speech got through to Gian regardless, but obviously her not being there when he woke up was kind of the punctuation of how serious she was about him doing this. So super sad that she went out that way, but I also understand that that's something that would have been probably impossible for her to live with. Most people would feel like impossible, anyone normal would not be okay with what she had to do. So RIP to her. Did like her character a lot though. Love that actress. I've seen her in so many K-dramas and she's so good. But anyway, loved that. That was her arc. Sadly a sad one, but I knew coming into the season that we were going to lose a lot of who we met in season 2. But yeah, so then we see that now the games are continuing. The VIPs were there. We found out the VIPs were actually in the game, which is something new. And as I said, definitely Frontman's got something going on, because as I said, he could have left Gian in there, especially if those guys were hunting. anything, but he chose to keep him alive. And again, I feel like he's already broken Gian, so I'm not sure why he's continuing to push him through the game, but my guess is because he isn't really broken, right? Now that Gian found his spirit again by seeing Junie and the baby and, you know, recognizing that there's something now that he can do, because we heard him say, like, I don't think I'm a hero, but, you know, he's a father and he relates to that at the very least. And so that's basically what happened. Gian's now trying to do what he can to protect the baby and Junie, you know, try to see what he can do. Now, again, I don't know how long-term this plan is because there's only ever been one winner of the game, but I do think Gian's to the point where, I mean, he's tried to take his life twice, so I think he's willing to give it up to protect Junie to the end if that's what it takes. And anyways, we see that there's another game, and in this game, we see that, yeah, the other half of Thanos's drug crew is gone. He was not going to make it regardless. That withdrawal was kicking his ass. But we see that the bullied became the bully, and I was right about him baiting him with the necklace and getting him to basically test the theory of how to get across potentially. But we see that once he realized it was empty, he didn't care about much else anymore, and bye to him. So I'm not sad about it because that man was useless, but sad. But we see that kid did keep the last pill, and he already did take one last episode. So I don't know what he's planning to do with that, but I feel like they've shown it to us multiple times for a reason. I have a feeling it's gonna come back around at some point before the end of the series. But yeah, outside of that, we see that the father of Junie's ex, he's been watching a lot, and I do think it's going to be either him or Gian that's going to do that final Hail Mary to try to protect her, or at least the baby. I don't know if the show is going to go ahead and make this baby an orphan, but we'll have to see. You see, the VIPs are gross, nothing much to say about them wanting to involve the child. I mean, are we surprised? I wasn't surprised. But yeah, that's basically where we're at, pardon me, is that, you know, Gian has now finally found a renewed purpose as far as, you know, getting through these games, because he was very much just kind of dragging through. But now that he has this mission of trying to get this mother and child out, then hopefully he's going to start playing, because he was good at the games last season too. He didn't really want to, or season 1, I should say. He didn't really want to admit it, but he really is pretty good at them. This is kind of his calling in a really twisted way. So yeah, that's where Gian's at. We see that he got the baby across because, yeah, Junie was not going to, we don't even know if Junie's going to be able to jump. My guess is that her man's going to put her on his back, which is going to be very interesting. But yeah, she can't jump with that ankle. I think they've made that abundantly clear. She can barely walk. It's definitely, at the very minimum, sprained badly. So yeah, that's that. And then outside of the game, we see that the police officer and the people on the boat, they did find the island where he was shot. So he knows that they're close by. And of course, we know that the plant is, you know, watching very closely to see how close they get at this point. We know what his orders are if they get too close. And then back on the shore, we see that our dude, I keep forgetting his name, the henchman, he went and did his own digging, and he told the cop that, hey, like, this isn't adding up. Like, this guy, no one knows him. No one knows anything about him. And, you know, in a community like this, that's weird. And I said that, right? In most parts of the world, fishing villages, everybody know everybody business, especially if you're a regular fishing boat. Everyone knows who you are. So the fact that no one knows him or anything about him, he's like, that's sus as. And then we see that he went to his address, and I guess he actually was living there. Potentially. It doesn't look like anyone actually lives there, but it's definitely some place that he keeps his stuff, including his money and his suit. So it looks like he actually worked the games as well at one point. And we see that there was a picture wall, and who's there, lo and behold. But not only was there the current front man, but of course we know that the henchman doesn't know who that is. But we see that the recruiter was also there. At least he recognized. He'll never forget that face. I mean, who can? Because Kong used. But anyway, yes, he grabbed the photo, I think, as evidence, so he'd finally have something, you know, hard to show the detective that, yeah, this guy is actually, Park is not on the level. He's working with the enemy. But we see that when he was on his way out, he got attacked by the dog. And then on his way out, he discovered the secret stash of money and the other things associated with the game. But of course, because he shot the dog, someone called the cops. And so he's probably on his way to the police station. So I don't know where that's going to go, because I have no doubt that this game probably has people in the station to make this kind of stuff go away. But hopefully he's going to keep on, at least have the photo. I think the photo is probably all that he's going to need at this point, even if he doesn't have the money and the suit to kind of further his cause. But that's that. And then we saw also with the North Korean defector that she is trying to get them off the island, and she was getting very close because she did manage to get the key and to the boat and, try to get out while the VIPs were there. But then we see that, of course, the guy who's running the organ donation, he recognized that something wasn't right, and he realizes now that she's trying to smuggle a player out. So I'm not sure why he would care about that, but my guess is more because he wants to get back at her. But I mean, I'm just thinking, like, there's no way it would trace back. Like, my point is, there's no reason for him to care about the player because as far as the game's concerned, he's dead, right? His body is supposed to be incinerated. So there really is no way for it to trace back to him unless that guy came back somehow. But I don't know. My guess is that it's more about revenge now that he knows that she killed everyone in that room except for that one guy. Also, he now knows that there's leverage, right? Because when it's the doctor, it doesn't matter, right? Like, they don't know each other. There's no risk to her. But now that he knows that it was a player, he's going to figure out that she must care about him because why do all this for a player? And now she's lost her leverage. And so I do think he's going to try to do something or threaten her with doing something now to the dad to try to either get his revenge or to just take them both out. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's not exactly going to go well for her. Hopefully she'll manage to get out of there, or at least get him out of there. But yeah, that's where we're at. Basically, the game is still in motion. And we see that while Guillen was successful, unfortunately, as I said, this game has turned everybody into homicidal killers. So yeah, now they're trying to see what they can do to get that number of people down to as little as possible. So that's going to interrupt Guillen's plan of going back across the bridge to go and get her. And I mean, I don't know why he didn't think that through. Like once you made it, bro, everybody else was going to come. You should have known that. But we'll have to see. I don't think this is the end of her. I think that, like I said, I think her baby daddy's going to step up, and it's long overdue. But yeah, another good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.